if I'm never gonna see him again, that's your blood, that's your everything.
This mother will move mountains to protect her child, but her logic holds no defense in the eyes of the law.
Okay, so you understand that you don't have to talk to us if you don't want to.
Okay.
Okay, but you're willing to give us a statement?
Well, I could. Yeah, my son means the world to me.
I dive into the interrogation of Angelique Sanchez and tell you what happened with her case. Welcome to Crime Fix. I'm Angenette Levy. And just a quick note, you can now watch and listen to Crime Fix on Spotify, so check us out. A non-custodial mother abducts her own biological son, triggering an Amber Alert in New Mexico when she fails to return him to his legal guardians. It sounds a little convoluted, but bear with me. 39-year-old Angelique Sanchez had lost custody of her son because she was struggling with addiction, but she was allowed to visit with him. A family member had temporary custody of the boy until Angelique got the help that she needed and could properly care for him. According to police, someone spotted the young boy with Sanchez at the New Mexico Human Services building, but when an officer tried to approach them, Sanchez rammed into a patrol car, fleeing the scene. Now, this is really not the way to handle something like this. NMSP decided against chasing Sanchez's car since a child was in the vehicle. That could be really dangerous, and it could escalate the situation. But the investigation moved forward, starting with some patrolmen canvassing a neighborhood where Angelique Sanchez was believed to be staying.
What's going on? So I'm Agent Brandon Gonzalez, State Police, bro. So we're actually here looking for a kid. I don't know if you heard of that kid that's missing. No? You didn't get anything on your phone? No, like Amber Alert or anything like that?
I got an Amber Alert last night.
Yeah, so that's the same kid we're looking for. So we know that they were here in the area yesterday, bro.
Nobody's home.
Who lives there, bro?
That's my mom's house.
Your mom's? So anyway, that's what we're doing, bro. We're looking for this kid, seeing if anybody has information on this kid. So honestly, when it comes to kids, it's pretty serious, right? So
you guys just going door to door asking?
Yeah, bro, that's what we're doing because that's what we got to do, right?
Now, police speak to many neighbors, with most providing little to no information of any value, until one resident reviews surveillance footage that proves invaluable to the investigation.
That was the one? Maybe. What do you think, Brandon? I'll check it out real quick.
Yep, newer model. Looks like our car.
Yeah, 46.
Yeah, that's what I was looking at.
Are you able to like zoom in like in that little corner right there when it plays?
I think mine is all frozen.
No.
What time was that one at?
2:46, which is consistent because that lady had a white car that way at 2:45, and then around 2:52 it comes back this way.
Police end up recovering the Hyundai Sonata, but the mother and son, they're still missing.
The what? The car in the Amber Alert was just found right back there.
You're kidding.
Nope.
Oh my gosh.
So, I wanted to show you.
That's weird.
Mm-hmm. Which is why we're trying to find out who these individuals are and if you know them.
I've never. Oh my God. That's mind-blowing. There was, I don't know who lives back there, but like even a couple weeks, I mean, this is totally unrelated, but a couple weeks ago, they were just doing donuts in a red car back there. I was like at 11 at night, and I'm like, I'm trying to get to work tomorrow. Like, who the hell? But I've never seen her. I mean, I can ask my kids.
Yeah, I don't think they've ever seen her around here, actually.
All right, and today, nothing suspicious or anything?
No.
I didn't hear anything. I've been home.
2 days later, police tracked down the missing mother and son duo in the same neighborhood in Albuquerque.
Oh, my baby. He's with me for spring break. She let me keep him.
Okay.
And then she said she'll never let me see him again if I give him back.
That is correct. Do you understand your rights?
No.
Okay. So you have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can will be used against you in a court of law. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you can't afford an attorney, one will be provided for you at government expense. Okay? At any time, if you want to consult with an attorney during questioning, you may do so. At any time, if you want to stop answering questions, you may do so as well. Okay? Everything I've just told you makes sense to you?
Yeah.
Okay. In your own words, what's an attorney?
A lawyer.
Okay. And what does that person do for you?
Help me.
Okay.
So I need an attorney.
Okay. Yeah. So, is there any reason why you like reach out to like law enforcement? Because I mean, your guys' pictures have been everywhere, right?
My mom said that I was gonna get an attorney first. To get an attorney first.
Okay. Okay. But you don't think that's something like law enforcement should have like been told about? Like at least like giving us like a heads up, like hey, like I have my son go through about this the legal way.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to do.
Okay.
I was scared too at the same time. I didn't know how to go about it.
Now, Angelique, she's rationalizing what she's done, trying to say that it was okay, essentially kidnapping her own child. But the patrol officer explains how this whole incident could have been avoided.
It would have just helped us a lot if we hadn't been, running rampant for the past 3 days. I mean, looking for y'all. We just wanted to make sure that he was safe for the most part. Okay. Is there anything that you know though that he needs right now, like medical attention? Does he need food? Does he need water?
Right now we're just gonna eat. We just drink water and juice.
This is a Morgan & Morgan legal alert. Emerging reports reveal that hair color products may not come with clear warnings about potential health risks. If you or someone you know frequently handles hair color chemicals and have been diagnosed with bladder cancer or other cancers, Morgan & Morgan is here to fight on your behalf. Scan the QR code on your screen or go to forthepeople.com/hair to start a claim now. The Amber Alert was canceled when police secured the 10-year-old boy. They found him safe on the scene.
Right now, we're just going to go ahead and place you into handcuffs just off of detainment for now, okay?
Okay.
Thank you.
Can you give this phone to my son? It's his phone.
That's his phone?
That's his
okay.
phone.
How are you doing?
How
are you doing there, Angelique? Doing okay?
I don't want my baby.
You okay? We'll get all that stuff figured out. Is it double?
Yeah, I got it right here. It's okay.
So once we get a marked patrol unit here that has a cage, we'll sit you in the back. That way you can be out of the sun and stuff.
Or detain. All right, I'm gonna have you come over here, Angelique. To the left. Over here. This way. Yeah, I'm gonna have you come over here. We're gonna have you just sit down right here, okay? Just for now, okay? Just have a seat right here.
I love you, baby.
Is that your hito right there?
I love you.
Okay. You want to sit down or you want to stand up?
I stand up.
Police drive Angelique to the police station for questioning.
You've been Mirandized. You understand your Miranda rights?
Yes.
Okay, so you understand that you don't have to talk to us if you don't want to.
Okay.
Okay, but you're willing to give us a statement?
Well, I could. Yeah, my son means the world to me, so...
I understand that. I understand.
What is it for? It's for him, right?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Investigators start off by trying to clarify the custody situation.
You took the child and you wouldn't return the child?
Oh, okay. That's not true.
Well, okay.
Oh, well, I took him. I didn't take him back. Yeah.
What's your understanding about the custody agreement?
Okay. The judge said it's up to her pardon. Like when she gives him back is when I can have him back. That's what the judge. That's what it says on the paper.
Okay. No, the paper says that you and your husbands, or you and the child's father, have your rights suspended right now, temporary suspended.
I didn't know
That's what the paperwork says.
Okay.
Where did you get the fact that you think that the judge says?
Because the last paper we got from the judge, it said, I said, am I ever going to be able to have him? That's up to her pardon. And she said, that's up to...
So there was no written agreement?
No.
The judge just said it's up to her?
And then there was a paperwork that we got from the judge, because it was all over the pandemic. So everything was over the phone.
Now, Angelique goes into detail about how her son had been staying with her for long periods of time, sometimes the entire summer since 2022. And during the past visit, her son, she says, confided in her, sharing that he was being abused, making him scared to go back.
When he's there with me a long time, he doesn't want to go back, and it's hard to give him back because he's my son, and it's hard to give him back. He said, Mom, can I stay with you? Is it okay? And she goes, no. All of a sudden he said, no, don't take me back, because she said she's not, because I talked to her on the phone. She goes, Angelique, when you give him back, because I was late to giving him back, I'm not going to ever let you.
This is the last time?
Yes. She says.
What date?
It was the day before they did the little alert thing or whichever. She goes, when you bring him back, I'm never going to let you see him again. I said, why would you tell me that, Why would you tell me I never could see him again?
Did she tell you that on the phone?
Yes.
In person?
On the phone. And I said, what? And me and him looked at each other and we're like, no, that's why. Other than that, I would have... in a heartbeat,
Now, it's clear that Angelique held a grudge because she just confessed she committed this act out of spite. But the investigator reminds her about the real reason why her son was taken out of her custody.
I'm going to be fair. There were stipulations you needed to get help.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Okay, so let's be fair. Let's be honest here.
Okay.
Let's don't make stories up, okay?
That was a story. Well, okay.
According to the paperwork that I read, you were supposed to do some stipulations, drug testing classes, correct? The courts just don't take your child away from you. There was something you did wrong.
Oh, I didn't get a guardian ad litem. I guess it's
it's not because you didn't get a lawyer. It's the fact you didn't show up for some hearings, and you didn't do what the courts asked you to do. Is that correct?
There was one that I didn't get a hair follicle test.
Okay, drug test.
Yes, I guess that's what it was.
So you're culpable in this too, right?
Yes.
So he stayed with her for 5 years. She was a good guardian for him.
Well,
right?
according to.
And then maybe she thought you got cleaned up, and then you started seeing the child. Right?
No, she had her child. And
okay. So she was overwhelmed.
Yeah.
Okay. And no one's saying you're a bad mom. I mean, I'm sure he wants to be with you.
Yes.
Okay. It's just the fact when the courts say no,
you can't do.
The police say no too.
Oh, okay.
Is that you understand that?
Now I do.
No. Did you understand that before too?
No.
Then why were you running?
Oh, because he told me no. He didn't want me to give him back to. He goes, wait till we get a lawyer, Mom, because they understand that she hits me, and he wants to.
So when he said she hits me, you immediately called CYFD or called police to report it.
I should have called and reported.
Why didn't you?
Because I wanted to talk to a lawyer first.
Because the lawyer would have done what? Protected your child?
Yeah, I thought so.
No. You needed. If that was true, which it isn't true, and I think you know that it's not true. Do you really think that you're beating your child? Honestly,
yes.
Let's be honest here.
Yes.
Really?
Yes, really.
Okay. And why do you think that?
Because he don't lie.
Okay.
He don't lie.
And you've taught him not to lie?
I've taught him not to lie.
Do you lie?
No.
The investigator uses that against her and buckles down for the truth.
You don't lie?
No, I'm not lying to you.
Do you have a drug problem?
Yes.
Okay. How long have you had a drug problem?
Since I was, 26.
Okay. Do you hang out with people with drug problems?
Today? No. But
No. That's not what I said. You're putting words in there. Today? No, I said, do you hang out with people with drug problems?
Yes, I do.
Do you take your child around people that have drug problems?
I don't want to talk anymore.
You don't want to talk anymore?
No, because I don't want it to affect my life or in any way, any manner.
Okay. Then I'll stop talking.
Sorry. Can I do it? There's nothing you're going to do to help me, right?
The thing is that we have everybody else's side of the story except for yours.
Okay.
Okay. I don't know why you would stop talking to me. It sounds like you were going to start admitting. We talked about the truth. You're going to be truthful to us, right?
Yeah.
And then for some reason you don't want to talk anymore.
Oh, I could talk.
Because I think it's
going to affect me.
Is your statement going to affect you?
Yeah.
Well, you know what your rights are. If you think you're going to incriminate yourself.
No.
I mean, we're not dumb. These are investigators.
Yeah,
I'm an investigator.
Of course.
We know your history.
Yes.
We know what you did.
Yes.
It's not disputed.
Yeah.
We want to get your side of the story. It helps.
And my side of the story is I'm trying to fight for my son, okay? That's my side of the story. I'm trying to have him with me. Yeah, right. That's why I went to the domestic violence shelter, so that I can get everything organized and structured for him. They would help me get it together there. They said that there's even a 10-day program where you can go to methadone and you can go through it's like a treatment thing, and then they get you housing, and we would be together. That's what I was trying to do. So I wanted to get it structured, and I went and sent my house in Peña Blanca, and it was trashed. It was demolished, and they stole everything that was liftable, pretty much, and I couldn't live there. So I was trying to find someplace stable and structured for my son. Is what I was trying to do. And it didn't work, I couldn't find it. And I told my son, it's about time where we're going to have to call them and tell them that I have to turn you in, okay? But he didn't want to let go, and it was so hard for me and I'm letting him run my life pretty much, kind of, because I'm telling him, it's time, no, and I should have been more of an adult and said, this is the case and we have to, but I was so scared and I didn't want to lose him, I didn't want to lose him. That's the whole purpose of, I want to make him and make him everything a part of me, and it's hard to do it alone, It's hard to do it alone. You can't do it alone if you need help,
Eventually, the truth starts to come out.
So you guys were there at Richard's the whole time?
Yeah.
So how did you guys eat, or how were you guys getting
food? Richard.
Oh, Richard?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Do Did I know what kind of vehicle does Richard have?
A little truck, a red truck.
Yeah.
He was gonna charge me $300 of rent for a room, and we were gonna start doing good stuff, you know. And he was gonna help me with him. He was gonna take me to a detox program, and then he was gonna help me with my son. So he said, I'll adopt him, and I was like, you promise? He's like, yes. And he's one of a good friend for a long time. So I said, but I'm marrying you, dude. So don't ever think, don't think nothing stupid. But he's very structured. He doesn't drink. He doesn't do nothing, and he's like my dad. When my dad was alive. So I really was comfortable around him. So he always messes with my son and says, little chavalito, and he says, you better listen to your mom. Do you need to straighten up, Keith? Because if he's not listening, he tells him, do you want me to straighten you up? But he's a really good man.
Police then go to this man she was with. He's named Richard to corroborate the story.
How you doing, sir? How you doing? I'm Agent Donis with the state police.
I didn't do it.
No, I
didn't do it.
You're good, sir. You're good. Are you aware of the Amber Alert that went out Monday? It was a few days ago. It was a mother and a missing child. Okay. Does anybody else stay here with you?
No.
No? Has anybody been visiting you or anything like that?
A friend of mine, but she already left.
531, go ahead.
Okay. What's her name?
I'm 1042. Have a good night, man.
I call her Angie. I don't know.
Angie? Okay. And she had did she have somebody with her?
Yeah, a little boy.
A little boy? Okay. So it turns out we actually made contact with them and we spoke with them that they're the mother and the child involved in the Amber Alert that we had on Monday.
Okay.
It's unclear what time Richard was questioned, but it is clear he believed that he was helping a friend in need.
So they stayed here in one of your bedrooms and in the living room?
My house is a 1.5 bedroom.
Okay, 1.5?
Yeah.
Okay. Alrighty. So that's how that conversation went?
Yes.
She just asked if she could spend the night?
She asked me if she could spend the night, because she was having problems with her mom or something. I don't know.
Is that what she said?
That's what she told me.
Okay. She said that, I'm having issues with my mom?
Issues with my mom, and, I don't have nothing to go.
If you could describe, how she is, as a person, is she somebody that goes and gets in trouble frequently, or not really?
No, not really. I don't think so.
You don't think so?
I don't think she's that like that.
Okay. Has she ever mentioned, what the situation is between, her and her child?
No. I mean, they're like glue. In the time that they're like glue. Even when she goes to the bathroom, he goes to the bathroom,
Okay.
Or stands in the,
Yeah. How did she treat him?
Oh, God. Real lovable.
Did he seem, how was he when he was here?
Real happy, real happy, yeah.
After the interrogation, Angelique was arrested for multiple charges for crimes committed over the 3-day manhunt. An officer wrote in the criminal complaint, Ms. Sanchez entered the vehicle through the passenger side door and placed the vehicle in drive. I gave commands to stop. I observed the boy was missing/endangered. The boy stated, "Don't take me away from my mommy." The boy was unbelted and standing in his vehicle. Ms. Sanchez intentionally rammed the front of my NMSP unit with her vehicle while the child was unrestrained. Ms. Sanchez placed the vehicle in reverse, crashed into a concrete bench. I attempted to open the front driver's side door to extract Ms. Sanchez, but there was no door handle. Using my NMSP-issued baton, I broke the front driver's side vehicle window and the door opened. Ms. Sanchez reversed the vehicle. I was in immediate fear that Ms. Sanchez was going to run me over. Ms. Sanchez reversed and nearly ran me over with the driver's side tires. Ms. Sanchez fled the scene at a high rate of speed. One other NMSP officer arrived in a fully marked NMSP unit with emergency lights activated, and Ms. Sanchez fled from him. APD officers arrived on scene and stated the vehicle was westbound on Manal in the eastbound lanes of travel. Wrong direction. Angelique recently accepted a plea deal back in January. She pleaded no contest to child abuse and aggravated assault on a peace officer with a deadly weapon. The rest of her charges were dropped. She will spend 1 year in the Metropolitan Detention Center, that's the jail, and then 5 years on probation. And that's it for this episode of Crime Fix. I'm Angenette Levy. Thanks so much for being with me. I'll see you back here next time.